where my mom's at. Where my mom's wearing thongs, hitting bongs at. Raising kids, cleaning shits, need a long nap. Where my mom's at.
Where My Mom's At podcast with Christina P.
Yeah, thank you for downloading this episode of Where My Mom's At and watching on YouTube. Let's get to some business. First of all, I want to thank everybody that came out to the Irvine Improv. It was absolutely bananas. We sold it out. It was crazy wall-to-wall YMH fans and this show, and thank you so much. I appreciate it. So October 25th, Pasadena, I'm doing the Ice House 2 shows, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Tickets are moving very quickly, so get on those. And then my residency at Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank continues. I'm doing most Thursdays through the end of the year. And then I do Seattle and Portland, November 22nd and November 23rd. Tickets for both of those shows are almost gone as well. And I do not think I'll be adding second shows. And that's it. December Flappers, man. And I'll be announcing 2020 dates pretty soon. So please check back at Christina P online. Follow me on Instagram at the Christina P, where I put all my favorite TikTok curations and just cool stuff. So anyway, enough business. I'm so happy. I have today one of my favorite people in the whole world, Miss Nakeya.
Hey.
I'm not going to say her last name. I don't know if you want people knowing that stuff about you.
Okay. You know I'm very prideful of my last name.
Looper.
Yes.
Okay.
We had the Looper 6.
Looper.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. Yes. And I've known you for a while now. You were a preschool teacher, which I don't even know how you can teach other people's 3-year-olds all day, every day.
Right. Every day for 10 years.
Bananas.
Yeah.
So and also what's unique about you is that you are a double varsity mom.
I am.
You have 2 sets of twins.
Yes.
Who are how far apart?
17 months.
And when you told me this, my brain exploded.
Yeah. It took you a minute.
Yeah. So explain to everybody the math, because I'm half asleep.
Okay.
I woke up at 6 with my children. Explain how that is. What happened to you?
Okay. Well, I tried for 2 years to get pregnant.
Okay.
It took forever. So we went to the fertility doctor. I did an IUI, which is basically the turkey baster. Where
they just blast you full of your husband's stuff?
Yes. I did it 4 times. And so on the 4th time, it actually stayed in there.
4.
And
that's
this
brutal.
particular doctor turned me on my head. So I think that was the magic.
What are you talking about? What?
Yes.
What do you mean he turned you on your head?
Well, the first doctor was very professional, and he did the insertion and had me sit there for about 10 minutes. But after it didn't work for 3 times, we went to a new doctor, and he said, we need the eggs bigger. We need to have you lay on your back, and then we'll turn you on your head. Then when you get home,
shut up. This is nonsense.
Then when you get home, you need to do it again. So I actually think that my son was conceived once we got home.
Really? On your
That's
head?
my own theory. Yeah.
Isn't that fascinating?
Yes.
You literally were upside down.
I was upside down because it has to trickle down.
I know. I believe that.
Yeah.
I did that with my 2 as well.
Yeah.
Man. Okay. So you did 4 IUIs, and the 4th one took, and boom, you're pregnant with twins.
Yes, pregnant with twins. The pregnancy was absolutely normal. Carried them for 38 weeks.
2 boys or 2 girls?
A boy and a girl. They're fraternal,
girl.
and couldn't be more fraternal. One was 8 pounds 4 ounces, and the other was 4 pounds 12 ounces.
Whoa!
Yes,
I'm hoping
but fully developed, totally okay. Everything was great.
Who was it? Was it the boy that was?
My daughter was on top of my son. They were like a T in my womb.
And I can't even imagine what it's like being pregnant with twins. You have a picture that you kindly, Nadav, will you put this up so people can get an idea? Look how large how many weeks are you here?
That was a week before delivery with the 2nd set. So I was pretty big. My husband is 6'4", so be careful who you marry.
Wow.
We make big babies. So that set was actually 7'9" and 7'4". So I had a good almost 20 pounds of baby inside of me. And I'm 5'4".
Which is, but by the way, because most of the time twins don't make it to 8 pounds.
Right. I don't know
7 pounds.
why. They just didn't want to come out yet. And
they were cooking.
They were happy.
Yeah.
And I was happy. I was walking around driving. My husband had to stop me from driving, stop me from going places. I was crazy.
And where you were able to walk. You were
able to do everything.
Gosh, that's so. Were you like in killer shape or something before you?
No, I think I would run and walk, but I wasn't hitting the gym every day. I guess some of our bodies are able to do all of that.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And so I remember I gained so much weight with my first pregnancy that I had people, like strangers, asking if I was pregnant with twins. And I remember feeling so insulted.
Yes.
What's the most annoying things you would hear all the time being pregnant
Just
with
people
twins?
would stare very hard because I was so gigantic and walking around. They would wonder why I was, able to go to the park, and just the constant stares. I had the worst attitude. My husband would be so embarrassed because I'd be like, what are they looking at? Stop looking at me. And he's like, babe, shh. Or one time we went to, when Toys R Us was still in, he put me in one of those wheelchair motorized things. And I was like, don't make me ride in this. But people would gawk and stare constantly.
I bet.
Yeah. Or why are you out? When are you going into the hospital? The constant asking.
People are so rude about pregnant women's bodies. It's very insulting. So then, so you have this first set of twins, and then and you have them C-section, I'm assuming.
Yes, I had a C-section, which I had never been in the hospital or anything like that. So I did not know what to expect. And people always say, C-section, you're in, you're out, you get to see the babies. But for me, I had a full-on anxiety attack as soon as they walked me back there.
Of course.
Because you're alone. You don't anticipate the alone part where they're prepping you. No one can be in the room.
Your husband can't even be
your
you.
husband, my mom, no one. So there was a team of doctors and nurses all running around, and, they have you bend over and inject you, and all of a sudden you can't feel your legs. You're like,
oh my
what
God.
is going on?
Yeah.
So once they laid me down and put the sheet up, it comes, right under your neck. I was like, wait, I'm not ready. Wait. And then they just knocked me out. They're like, we don't have time for this.
And that's the birth I wanted. I actually asked my gynecologist with my first kid, I'm like, can you just knock me out like in the 1950s and then wake me up with a baby? Like I literally asked, and she's like, no, that's inhumane.
Right. No, I guess I was a little bit too much because I was in and out of consciousness.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is, like I said, my dream, but I guess not for So you take home your first set of twins, and had you worked with children up to that point, or was this
I did. Okay. From teaching, I've always been around children.
So you were more comfortable.
I was
than
comfortable,
the average.
Not necessarily with a newborn, because I typically got them after 1 year old, but I was comfortable enough.
Yeah. And then how long before you get knocked up with the second round?
Well, I remember going to one of my doctor's appointments right after delivering, and my doctor said, okay, so let's talk about birth control. And I was like, birth control? Took me 2 years to have these babies.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
And how old are you when you conceived your first?
30.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm fine. I don't need any birth control.
Yeah.
And I was nursing.
Yeah.
I just did not imagine that I could get pregnant on my own, because I think when you go through the process of getting pregnant for so long, it's just unfathomable that you can actually do it yourself. So I didn't think that we could.
And what had the doctors told you was the issue with your getting pregnant the first time?
My periods. I was basically ovulating every other month. But to my surprise, it's 2 eggs every other month. So once the pipes got flowing,
yes,
I think I got pregnant around July, and in October, when I refused to eat a hamburger, I knew that something was up, because that's my thing.
Shit. So how far? Sorry. So July is how many months after you had your first?
They were 7 months.
Oh my God! So you're 7 months postpartum.
Yes.
And that's when you get pregnant.
I didn't know it then, but it had to have been around that time, because I figured it out in October.
Oh.
Yeah.
And had you been getting periods?
No, I was nursing.
Oh,
so I nursed.
My God.
And I think, soon after I stopped, because that was my Mother's Day present. I remember Mother's Day for me was, I'm done nursing. I'm not pumping, none of it. I'm not having any of it. So I stopped in May, and I must have got pregnant around July.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And what's your initial reaction to that?
Well, I didn't want to take a test for a while. I was ignoring the signs and symptoms, but once I started feeling queasy, I turned to my husband. I was like, something's up. He's like, let's just get a test. We'll get a test. He was like, but the good thing is it'll only be one. It'll just be one baby. It's fine. It'll be fun. One baby. And I was like, oh, because I was very active with them. We did everything, you know. I never stayed home with my first two. We were always out running around, and I did not want a baby to slow us down, basically.
Right. And like, I mean, I remember when you told me originally, you're like, oh, this means another year at home.
Exactly.
And you love to be out and about.
Right.
And that was like, and it's true, you're pretty much housebound that
Yes.
first year. You can't
Right.
do shit. So, okay. So you find out you're pregnant, right? So how do you find, you take the test at home?
I take a test at home, comes up positive, and I just burst into tears. And he comes running in the room. And he's like, it's just one. It's going to be so much fun. It's fine. They'll be close in age. It'll be great. And I called my parents, and I ignored it for another at least 3 weeks before I actually went to see the doctor.
Oh my, you were really
I was just in denial. I just did not want it to be so.
Yeah.
So I finally go to the doctor, and the tech, you know, does the ultrasound, and she's like, let me call the doctor in to confirm what I'm seeing.
Oh, that's always bad news. Either that's
And I
bad,
said,
yeah.
don't tell me there's two in there. And she was like, there's two in there. And I just burst into tears. Like I was uncontrollably sobbing.
Oh my.
I was like, what? And my husband was with me, but he had taken our first two downstairs because they were getting tired and, you know, they needed to take a nap in the car. So I was alone. I call him. He's like, what? There's two? And then, of course, by the time he comes up, my phone's ringing off the hook because he's called his mom and his sister. And I was like, this is not family news. Like, can I just
You need a minute.
take it in? Yeah.
Because how far along were you by the time you get confirmed with the ultrasound?
I was about 3 months, maybe.
Yeah. So it is go. Like,
Yeah.
you're in your second trimester. This is happening.
Yeah. And the doctor never came into the room to
Oh.
speak to me. So when I get to her office to wrap up the appointment, she was like, why are you so hysterical? And I was like, you didn't hear? There's two. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And so it was a whole thing with her. And the moment she said, you know, you have options, that kind of made me take a pause.
Yeah,
And take
of
it all
course.
in. I was like, we got it. We're okay. And I, you know, soaked it in and we moved on.
And you moved
And I stopped
on.
crying from that moment on. As soon as she said, we have options,
Yeah.
I said, we got it. And
Yeah.
it just go time.
Yeah. I mean, because that is the moment of truth.
Right.
And I mean, thankfully you did have options.
Yeah.
And you could have been like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly, I don't know if I were in your shoes, what I would have done, because I can't even imagine having twins. I see people in the park and I'm
Right.
like, my heart goes out to you, especially, you know, your first set of children is
Right.
two. And then 7 months later to get pregnant with another set of twins.
Right.
So, okay. So you decided that you're all in.
Mm-hmm.
Your husband Looper's all in.
All in.
What's that second pregnancy like? Is it harder because now you've got two infants and now you're
It
pregnant?
was
you can't lay
harder
down?
because I was sick this pregnancy. I didn't get sick with my first two. I don't know if the boy and girl balanced each other out, which the hormones made it okay.
Oh, right.
But I was sick for the first, I would say, 5 months. So that made it difficult. But then after that, again, I was running around and I had two toddlers. So I just did it.
Now, did you have family help or was it just you? and your husband?
No,
Oh
all of
my
our family
God.
live in California, but I think because of my background and because we were just doers, they felt like we had it. So even days that we didn't have it, it seemed like we did. So not a lot of people showed up saying, how can I help you?
That's cool. Thanks, guys.
They did send diapers in the mail. We had a constant supply of diapers, but no real, you know, mom come down for 2 and 3 months to help.
How much
It was
do you
just
hate your
us.
family for that?
Well, now that my siblings have all
Jerks.
the help in the world with one
Yeah.
kid, you're like, hello.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
a bunch of crybabies, right? Jerks. So let's get into that. So the second delivery, I'm assuming, is cesarean.
C-section. But this time I was totally fine. We prepared. I had the curtain practice at home with the sheet.
So you were
and,
mentally
yeah,
in it.
I was fine. I was awake and I knew exactly what happened.
I cannot. Okay, so you're going for your C-section. I'm assuming Looper's with the twins at home.
No, they were with my brother-in-law and my sister.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So you have the second set of babies.
Yeah.
And now the chaos really begins.
Yeah.
Fuck. So I mean, I can't even imagine. I'm assuming you just put one on each boob. right? When you're breastfeeding.
Well, I never did it together because no one tells you when you have twins and you're trying to feed them together, you feel like you're getting eaten alive. It's the weirdest sensation to have. Yeah, they're like, do the football hold and have one here and one here. No, it's better to just do one at a time. You don't have that weird feeling, and you get to bond with one baby. It's not like, you're constantly doing everything in duo.
And now you'd finished breastfeeding the first set of twins by the time the second set came. So
yes,
you weren't,
definitely.
Okay, that would be crazy.
Oh, no.
To have 4 babies on your boob.
Right. It was hard enough with 20 diapers by the time it was 9 a.m.
Let's talk about that. Like, are you just constantly wiping asses for how many years? Like 3? Or did you toilet train them early?
No, we stopped toilet training at around 2.5 for my older 2, and then the other 2 took a while. So a good 5-6 years we were in diapers.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. And how do you feed? How do you feed for it? Like, they're all hungry at the same time, I'm assuming. So how do you do it?
Well,
tell me, how do you do everything?
My trick was I ate first.
Smart.
All the time.
Always take care of mom
all the time.
First.
I just would eat. I would make something and eat first. And then, obviously it wasn't the time that they needed to eat. I would at least do it an hour before. But I wasn't famished trying to feed all the children. So, the little guys, they were still on breast milk. And then by the time they were bigger, Guy and Abby were eating table food. So
then
we just did it. We just did everything. We were like, we're not going to stop. We're just going to keep going.
Yeah. You just put your head down. It sounds like your husband's a military man, and it sounds very much like that was the mentality.
Right.
Put your head down, and we're just going to get through the next 4 years.
Right.
And I mean, how did you guys survive that?
Well, he was awesome. I would have to say that picking a great mate that really was great with babies was key, because he got up a lot in the night. I would wake up and he'd have all the kids fed or bathed or something to help throughout the day so that I can just pick up where he left off.
Wow.
So he really, really enjoyed babies. The 9 and 10-year-olds, not so much, but babies, he loved when they were little.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then sleep training. I'm assuming, how did they sleep? Did they sleep in the same room? Did they sleep with you?
They slept in the bassinet with me up until 3 months, and then we moved them into their beds and we trained them immediately.
How immediately? We're talking
at 4 months.
At 4 months, bam.
Yeah, bam. And we're doing it.
Oh, sorry. So 2 kids in one room, 2 kids in another room?
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how do they not wake each other up when they
No,
cry?
kids get used to each other's sounds, especially twins. They know their sounds, so when one would wake up, they would hear it, but they could put themselves back to sleep. So that's the thing that people don't tell you when they're trying to get sympathy about twins, that it actually is a blessing in disguise.
Trying to get that sympathy.
Yeah, it's so much easier when they're babies and you put them in the bed at night. You don't have the guilt of, oh, my baby's alone, because their twin is right next to them, especially around 18 months when they're playing and talking to each other until they fall asleep. It's great.
That's adorable. I want to move Ellis and Julian together at some point, because Ellis has been asking.
Oh, they're gonna love it.
How old does Julian have to be for that?
I would say at least 2.
At least 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for them to buddy down like that, dude. That's the whole point. So let's go through a day. Like, how do you? So Looper will wake up and make breakfast for all 4, and then. How long does it take you guys to go to school in the morning? I mean, stuff like that. I have 2 kids, and it's almost like...
Well, we taught them very early to know how to do things. As soon as they were able to put on their clothes, they were doing it. I was not putting on my 10-year-old's shorts, or even my 5-year-old shorts. If he could pull up his pants, he pulled up his pants. They became very independent.
Yeah, they have to be.
Yeah. Jeez. So much so that a few years ago, they were giving Heimlich maneuver to each other.
What? Yes. Did they actually
perform it on each other?
Wow. So somebody was choking?
On a Lego. And they were about 6 years old, my 2 little guys.
Oh my
And instead of coming to get mommy and daddy, who were in the next room, one gave the Heimlich maneuver to the other and got the Lego out and threw up, and then came and told me so I can help clean the vomit.
Oh my God. Of course, mom always comes in for the fun.
We need to be a little bit reliant, a little bit on us. Come and tell us if you're joking.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. I love it. Mom always has to clean the puke. So this is so crazy, man. Okay. What other mom hacks do you have then? What else? Tell me. Oh, and what's the most annoying thing you get asked about having multiples? What do people ask you all the time?
Well, the one when they were little was, oh, you have your hands full.
Yeah.
Those are all yours. You have your hands full. You're a super mom. You're this. We couldn't go through the grocery store without someone saying that. Yeah, that's us at Target.
AKA the country club for moms.
Yeah, they have the best carts because I was able to put 2 in the extra extended portion and then 1 in the regular and then the other in the back where you're like, you can't get up. You have to sit down. Don't move.
So and I always saw that extension. I'm like, what poor soul is using this?
That's
you. It's the loopers.
That's us.
This is
so
could you imagine? And I dread going to Target with my 2 and then, and then what I love about you told me this story about how you get them to behave in Target. Share that with the audience. I'm always fascinated how other people parent. And I really love how you do it because one time you said to me, you're like, people really overthink this stuff.
Yes.
It's really not that complex.
Well, you just have to be short and sweet. You can't be too chatty. You can't explain too much. You have to give simple concepts that kids can grasp. So when we're going to Target, instead of waiting until we get there, we talk on the way. Well, what's going to happen if someone is running down the aisle? We're going to have to all get in the car and leave, and they don't want to leave. So I remind them the whole way there. And then when we get there, I expect them to act a certain way.
I love it.
Yeah.
And it works. And look, you were a preschool teacher for how many years?
10.
Yeah. So I believe you. I think you know what the hell you're talking about.
Right.
And I agree. And also instills a sense of confidence in them. Like,
Yes.
I know you guys can hold your shit together.
You really can.
And if you don't, there's consequences.
Right.
Which is really how life operates. Like, you got to kind of hold your ass together. And if you don't pay your taxes, you're going to jail.
Exactly.
You don't follow traffic laws, you're getting a ticket. Like,
right.
Unfortunately. And so Greg Fitzsimmons was on last week and we just were kind of like philosophically discussing the idea of why have consequences for children. And I really thought about that. I'm like, yeah, he's kind of right. Like, what's the utility in having negative or punishment? And I was like, intuitively, it doesn't sound right to not punish a kid for wrong things. Like, what's your...
But like you said, there's a difference between punishment and a consequence.
Right.
So, if something happens, it's a natural consequence or it's a consequence that you're going to give them because you're the parent and you want them to behave a certain way or you want them to learn a certain life lesson. So it's necessary in parenting. Yeah. And when you think about it, their brain was just formed 3 years ago.
A minute ago.
If they're under 5, it's not even finished yet. So you need to help them.
I know.
You have to help them. They don't come equipped, ready for the world. It's really our job to teach them.
Well, and too, don't they feel a sense of safety if they know that mom and dad are in charge and that they're capable of maintaining boundaries and rules and that you're this strong?
Absolutely.
You have to do it for them. And also they internalize that discipline and that structure and then they'll do it themselves later.
Exactly.
Yes. And also you mentioned too, like, positive reinforcement, like when you're...
It goes a long way in our house.
Yeah. So tell me how you do that.
Well, if one child is ready before the rest to go to school, for instance, now they're 9 and 10. So I'll give that one child kudos. Oh, I'm so glad you're ready to go out the door. Look at Guy. He's actually ready to leave instead of yelling at the child that's not ready. It really makes everyone perk up and listen up like, oh, I want to get, a little bit of kudos. And it doesn't always bring out the negative attention because a lot of times if you're not giving attention, negative things come out and they'll seek your attention based on, doing things that are negative. So I try to catch that before it's happening.
100%. They act out. Now you told me too about the kids getting into the car. Was there something you told me if you, they would fight over who gets to sit?
Oh, now these are school age children now, mind you.
Yeah.
So now that, we have a large car and there's, space all the way in the back, which is the dreaded spot for some reason. I don't know why. It's air conditioned, leather, everything you can imagine.
Not like a station wagon
exactly.
from the 80s.
Yeah, you're in air conditioned.
Yeah.
You can pop a movie on if you want, chill out. But anyway, they all fight over where they're going to sit now. So my rule for the summer, because we did a lot of summer activities, the last 2 that are arguing, if I say, okay, enough, we're done arguing, is going to walk the first block. And it works.
Yes, it does.
It works because they don't want to walk a walk. I mean, they don't want to walk, in the hot San Fernando Valley heat. They want to get in the car.
No.
So they'll stop arguing before it's time to go. And the one time I actually had to enforce it, the best part was the two that were arguing, they had to walk the block. But the third son, he said, if they're walking a block, I'm walking a block. And they all walked together down the street. It was very, very sweet. Yeah.
That's really
They have each
lovely.
other's back. But, you have to enforce things you say. If you're going to say it, you have to do it.
Yes, that's another thing because they will test that from you as well. They're looking to see if you're really gonna follow through.
Yes.
Yeah, I like threats. It really works.
Yeah.
Like, but threats within boundaries of what is appropriate to them.
Right.
Yeah, like a threat of a timeout or we're gonna leave if you act up in Target. Guess what? No more Target.
Yeah. Or when they were toddlers, a really great response to get your child to do what you want them to do is, do you need me to help you or can you do it by yourself?
Ooh, I like that.
That will change your life.
Do you need me to help you?
Right, because they want to do everything themselves. So if you're asking them to get down and you're like, Alice, get down. I need you to get down. Come here. No, I don't want to yet. Do you need me to help you or can you do it by yourself? Oh, I can do it. And here they come.
I love
Yeah,
this.
here they come.
I love this Jedi mom trick.
Yeah, just quick and simple.
I love your Jedi mom trick. And you helped me toilet train Ellis this last weekend.
He's a pro.
He's a pro now. You had this great thing. She goes, so like a day or two before potty training, this is for everybody listening who's toilet training. First of all, I waited a long time. Some say too long because I was changing.
I say too long.
Yeah, of course. Ellis decided to take a poop on his own and we were like, great, we're almost, let's do it. And then Tom and I got sick. We were traveling and I'm wiping Ellis's butt the other week. And I was like, whoa, this kid's like 12. Yeah, like this is a grown man's dump. Like, who's this child? And I'm like, I think we got to toilet train this baby, man. Yeah. So Nakeya goes, well, you just got to tell him like a day or two before, oh, looks like we're running out of pull-ups. We're almost out.
Right.
And then the day of, hey, look, we're out of pull-ups. We got to wear our underwear now, or no underwear, but we're not wearing pull-ups anymore.
Once you decide that you're going to potty train, the diapers need to leave.
Yeah.
It can't be, oh, I'm going to give you underwear today, and then the next day, oh, we're going to go back to diapers. It's very confusing for children. Yeah. So you just say, this is what we're going to do, and you start dealing with it.
And then he was ready. He was really ready. Right. So it was pretty easy because he wanted to. He was going back and forth on the underwear idea. But anyways, so that was awesome. And it was really simple. Oh, and bribes and rewards.
Yeah, that is the one time that I say pull out every bribe you can think of if you're having trouble. Some kids don't, have a problem with it, but if they just don't want to go on the toilet, you just start bribing.
Yeah. So what I did is I went to Target without the kids and I got all those cheapy little like cars. I got like a box full of them. And when the box was done, that's the end of the toy rewards. But he could have one toy every time. It was like, 99-cent bullshit every time.
Exactly.
But he does wear diapers at night because they can't hold their urine.
Their bladder.
Yeah.
It's not ready yet.
When will that be ready? Like 5?
At least a year. I wouldn't rush it at all.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
Because they still have those dreams that they're going to the bathroom. It's a lot going on. They're still growing. I wait at least another year.
How did you oh my God, you did the first set of twins and then and this it's unreal.
Yeah, everything was back around.
What's your grocery bill like?
Oh, tell me about it. A lot. They eat a lot.
Of course.
Yes, constantly. The snacks. We're a Costco family for sure.
You gotta be.
Yeah.
And do you one person told me they say, here's how you get the kids to stop fighting. You just say you work it out amongst yourselves. Do you ever do that? Like,
it depends on the age. If you have toddlers, they can't work it out yet themselves. Right. You have to be there to help them, resolve a conflict, especially sharing. Everybody, you have to share. Children don't know how to share yet. It's more about taking turns.
I love that.
When you're done, he's going to have a turn. A lot of times if you set a timer and say when the timer goes off, it's going to be your brother's turn, then they have to give it up. But it's not necessarily share.
Right, because that's a broad concept.
Exactly.
To little kids. They don't really get that idea.
Older children, my children, if it's something that we've worked on, constantly and they're just rehashing it again, then I definitely have them work it out.
Do you need me to help you or can you do it yourself?
Yes.
Ooh, I'm going to use that one today.
Yeah. Especially Ellis. He's so smart and independent. He's like, oh, I can do it. It's
He's
okay.
Sucker. It's all Jedi mind tricks with toddlers.
It is.
He figured out the either or tactic. Like, do you want to brush your teeth or put on your pajamas? And he used to be like, brush my teeth. And now he's like, neither. Bitch.
Yeah, you're like, now what?
He figured me out. He's like, that shit don't work now,
right,
Mom.
Exactly.
Damn.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Catch me outside. How about that? That's right. Yeah, he don't play that. Okay, so you were a preschool teacher for a decade, and God bless the preschool teachers. Like, I don't know how you did it. I can't imagine dealing with other people's rotten toddlers as much as I love my own. How did you even want kids after teaching other people's kids for a decade?
Well, I've always wanted children. I think, coming from your own childhood, you envision something different for yourself. And I've always worked with children. So having children was nothing different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, but do you treat your own children differently than you do the ones you teach?
Definitely. It's a different voice. The teacher's voice is different than the mommy's voice. So sometimes if they'll see me with someone else's child, they'll look at me like, who is that? That's my mom.
Like, that's the nice mom. Because you're like, good for you.
Yeah,
good
I'm like,
job.
you're so proud of yourself. Did you put your shoes on all by yourself? You're so proud of yourself. And they're like, with them, like, get your shoes on. It's time to go. Right.
They're like, who's this other mom? I want the nice
Same
mom.
Concepts, but just different sounds.
Right.
Yeah.
A little more gentle with other people's kids. Yay.
Right. Yeah.
Get the fuck over here. So tell me this. So for the parents listening, what's the most annoying thing parents do to preschool teachers? Like, how do I not annoy the shit out of my preschool teacher?
Definitely the moms that think that their child is so smart at 2 and 3. And you're like, they barely know anything. They're not that smart. The whole, baby can read concept that was out big time when my kids were little. I was like, read for what?
What's the baby can read? What's that?
There was some game that a lot of kids were doing when my kids were very little called like My Baby Can Read. And they wanted their kids to read at 9 months.
Oh,
and you're
boy.
like,
What?
Why?
Yeah.
Let them just be kids.
Yeah. I think there's this huge thing of like pushing the developmental milestones.
Right.
And like, especially with boys, they just kind of hit stuff later.
Right.
Like I remember with Ellis, they're like, he needs to have a speech check.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it doesn't.
Yeah. Just go and play, dig in the dirt, have a good time. It's so quick. My kids roller skate, bike ride with no helmets.
Yeah. Hey, fuck that helmet. Yeah. Fuck that pussy helmet.
They're not out at the skating ring with the little training things. They're like zooming, whizzing by.
Yes, thank you.
It's just important for kids to just be kids.
Yes.
So when a mom comes in and they want to brag about how smart their child is at 2, it's just unnecessary.
It's a huge eye roll.
Yes, especially for teachers, because you're not looking for that. You're really just teaching them how to get along with others at that age.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They're
And
just
be a human
people.
being in the world.
Yeah. You're just a human. You're just wiping your ass and stuff.
Exactly.
Man. You're not
right.
smart. I know.
Or the mom that's constantly late. That's annoying.
That's like late.
Yeah, like late.
Like, like we're already singing our songs. We're already in circle time.
Right.
And this bitch comes rolling. Yeah, that's rude.
Yeah, because teaching is a profession. It's not necessarily babysitting. You can be late for your
course.
babysitter because you paid them extra.
Right, of course.
But for teachers, they want to be done when the day is done.
Of course. What about forgetting the teacher's birthday? Because I got to admit, I don't give a rip about the teacher's birthday. Don't care. She doesn't care about my birthday. I don't give a fuck about her birthday.
It's not necessarily birthday, but definitely holidays.
Girl, yes.
Holidays is big.
Hey, I give a lovely gift certificate to Target or Macy's.
Yes.
Starbucks, I give a nice card. No, I'm classy AF.
The birthday is okay. You just say happy birthday.
Yeah, what are you, 5?
Or have the kid draw a card, if that.
No, get your life. I think that acknowledging adult birthdays is just, it's bananas to me. Like, unless it's a big one, like 40, 50, a hallmark or landmark. I don't know what the word is. Milestone. Like, why? I don't care. You're an adult.
Yeah.
Good for you. What about this effusive praise? There's a lot of praising of children in this era. Does that really, do you think it really helps? What's the best way to praise a child?
At the moment, and move on. At the moment, I'm very proud. Yesterday, I'll give a little praise.
Yes. Yeah.
Had teacher conferences. I'm always more concerned with how they behave at school than their grades, because I feel like they'll learn how to, be great at math or science or whatever. For the first 3 years, I want to know: are you listening to the teacher? Are you being respectful? all of that. So conferences went great yesterday. We all went out for ice cream, and we're done talking about it.
Ice cream. But ice cream was a nice reward.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about, I see a lot of effusive praise over just a lot of nonsense. Like I did one time, it's in my act, but I witnessed a woman who was like coaching her child on the playground, like, good, put your foot on the ladder, good job, Cooper, good job, good job, swing down the swing and swing and the swing, good job. And I'm like, there's
You woke up, good job.
yeah, right, you woke up today, good job, you took it down. It's like, it has to, and I understand that the logic behind it is we're trying to build their self-esteem, but you're like, you're praising nothing, man.
Exactly. And when you get into the real world, your boss is not going to say good job for everything, and you're really setting them up for that.
Yes.
When you're just constantly praising your child.
Yes, and I like it. I heard you even in this podcast. You said, "Aren't you proud of yourself?"
Yeah.
And I agree to say, Aren't you? You should be proud of yourself.
Yeah, because that builds them up.
Right.
Versus, you're like, I did it.
Versus, I'm proud of you, because then they're always looking for your validation.
Exactly.
Mommy's not going to be around forever
Right.
to pat you on the back.
Right. And there are times where you are proud as a parent and you say it, but if it's something that, is for them, aren't you proud of yourself?
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I
In
like
the teacher voice.
I like it. In your teacher voice. Aren't you proud of yourself? Do you do it like that? Good job.
I was going to look at you like,
job.
Mommy, stop.
Yeah. He's like, you got mental problems. Let me talk a little bit about marriage after multiples. It's pretty much a death sentence for a marriage, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So how did you
It's a
survive?
lot.
Yeah. It's a fuck. Look, one kid
Yeah.
throws a wrench in everything.
Right.
Two kids, you're already kind of used to the explosion.
Mm-hmm.
you know when the storms are kind of coming.
Right.
But four, I mean, how do you not resent your husband? How do you not hate everybody?
Well, the entire pregnancy for this last two, we fought about who was going to make sure that we didn't have more children the whole time. He's like, you do it. I'm like, no, you do it.
You
I'm
do
like,
it.
I delivered at a Catholic hospital, so they would not allow me to, I would have to go and do it again.
That's right. They wouldn't let you get your tubes tied during cesarean.
Right.
Why?
Because it was against the policy of the hospital. So it would have to be a side procedure, at another hospital. And I was like, I'm not doing that again. So the entire pregnancy, we talked about it. And then as soon as they came out, he said, I'll do it. He made his appointment.
Yeah.
But of course, in the great men fashion, he did not set up a ride for himself.
They're so dumb. Like, how are you going to get home, sweetie? You're under anesthesia.
So I drove him, I think, 1 month postpartum in our minivan and waited in the emergency.
With the kids?
Yes, in the emergency lane, begging the parking guy, can I please just stay here? My husband's just going up for 15 minutes. And I read books in the car to the kids while he got a chop.
I can't even, like, I'm exhausted just hearing these stories. Like, you must have had so much energy back then.
Yeah.
Well, you were 30. I'm 43 with two small children.
Right.
Big difference. Difference. I can't believe it. But that didn't make you hate Looper.
No, once he did that, you're like, okay, we're in it together. You did a little bit, I can do a little bit. Right. And from there on, we're both pretty chill people. I think that helps. If we fight, we kind of make up quickly, and we want our marriage to last for our kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. That's a big, your temperament. I've always loved this about you. You're so calm. And so many times I've been like, how do I can I just have some of that?
Yeah.
But thankfully for Lexapro,
you managed to get
I got a little bit of Nakeya in me, 10 milligrams a day. Anything else? Okay. So, but you guys, you say you fight, but you make up quickly.
Well, we make up quickly. The kids sleep in their own beds. He would have hated me if I had kids in the bed every night.
I think that's a big
we like to come together in the evening.
Let's talk about marital loves.
Yeah.
I mean, after that second round of twins, were you a little gun shy?
No, I wasn't. I'm the aggressor in the relationship.
Oh, wow.
So I needed to just get healed up and we were good to go.
Bang, bang.
Yeah, but no one tells you that you bleed from your vagina when you have a cesarean section.
I did not know that.
I did not know that. I was very surprised.
Wow.
Because I'm like, the babies didn't come out from here. So why am I bleeding?
Right. And what, just because your uterus is
your uterus is
closing.
contracting and, so everything had to come back together. Your stomach, you feel very sloshy in the beginning.
Yes.
So it took a good couple of months, but after that we were good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But your vag is intact, which is nice.
Yes, it's intact.
No cutting.
No.
I mean, your body's got to be like I feel like after the second baby, this body's trash. Like I was thinking about it yesterday. I'm like, it'll never be even close to what it was.
Right.
And like you just make peace with it. You're like, I'm 43. I had a good run.
Right.
With
Exactly.
a decent bod for 40 years. But what's it like after two sets of twins? Like, are you stretched out more?
Yes.
Your
Well,
stomach?
my stomach, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, I could use the good old tummy tuck, but I keep saying I'm going to work my way back to pre-twins, but so far it hasn't happened.
It's so hard.
Stay posted. Stay tuned.
Hey, man. Okay, so you're the aggressor. I love this. Do you do a quarterly BJ like Leanne Kreischer? What's your tactic?
Quarterly, no.
Okay. What are we talking? Do you do them? I'm so curious.
I
to
do
know.
them, but not quarterly. It's kind of just
Once a year, annually? Birthday?
no, in the mood. Yeah, birthday, definitely
That's a
anniversary.
special occasion. Yeah.
We're out of the house. You feel extra
Yeah.
excited.
A hotel without kids
Yeah,
screaming.
out of the house, you feel like you're on your honeymoon again.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that so? That's why Tom and I go to a hotel once every 2 months or so.
Uh-huh.
You feel like you're free again. Like,
Yeah.
wow, we're single.
Yeah.
We're going to have sex tonight.
Exactly.
Without baby monitors next to
Right.
us.
In the house, you just feel like mom and dad.
Yeah. It's
So
so
all the extras come out when we're out of the house.
now, do you, the babies sleep in their own bed, so you just wait until lights out, I'm assuming. and
Oh, yeah.
then
They
you-
go to bed like clockwork.
I love
Right
it.
now, it's 8:30, but, you know, when they were babies, it was 7 to 7.
That's the best time.
Yeah. I don't know how. When moms say they're tired all the time, it's because they don't make their kids go to bed.
100%.
And they're up at night, putting them to bed for 2 hours, laying in their bed, falling asleep in their bed. You don't have to do all that.
No.
Unless you want to, but it's very hard on the marriage.
Very hard on the marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talk about that a lot too. Sleep training, getting those kids down so that you can have your marriage time. So you guys can have your Netflix and chill or your
Right.
annual BJ or whatever it is
Exactly.
you want to do. Very important. Okay. Anything else have I forgotten? Is there anything else that people ask you that's super annoying about multiples?
Oh, are we going to have more? Of course.
Ugh.
They're like, are you going for another set?
Yeah.
No, I'm
yeah, you
not.
dumb bitch. I want 10 kids.
No, I'm not. I'll take my niece and nephew out for the day.
Yeah. Why would you want more than 4?
Exactly.
Any more than 4 is a cult. That's what I say.
It is a
Insanity.
cult.
Ugh. I don't know how people. I mean, I get the impulse actually because they're so awesome.
Right.
And when it's awesome, kids are
It's awesome.
amazing.
Yeah, and big families are so much different than little families.
I
You know,
bet.
the car, we had to do the whole dreadful minivan forever. You know, you pull up somewhere and the sliding doors slide back and cups roll out.
Yeah. It's hey, my SUV is a trash can on wheels.
Right.
Yeah, it's just Cheerios and
Right.
cups and oh
Yeah.
God. But it only lasts for so long.
Yeah,
and then they
and
go
they're
away.
big. Yeah.
No, I don't want it. That's why you keep having more because you're like, at least someone's still a baby. Any mom fails?
Mom fails
Now
recently.
it's time
or-
for a round of
Properly.
mom fails.
Just one that sticks out. In
Okay,
the
well,
last-
this is recent. My daughter got invited to attend her teacher's college youth sorority group. So she emailed me that she had to wear all white. And I was like, oh, all white after Labor Day. What am I going to find? What kind of outfit? So I get her a cute little white jumpsuit with all white Adidas. She looked very cute.
Yeah.
We go to the event and she goes to, get inducted and walks on the stage and she turns around, complete bright pink red panties. I was like, oh, are you kidding me? Her outfit was planned to the T. Everything was so cute. And all I could see is bright pink panties as she's
God
approaching the
damn
stage with all these fancy dancy moms. I was mortified.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Mom.
And the tooth fairy is a constant mom fail for me
What do you mean?
because you can't have the tooth fairy with big families.
Oh, the other.
After the first child, you completely forget the other kids.
Oh, you forget to put my.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Constantly. You're like the tooth fairy again because they're around the same age. So
Oh my
they lose their
God.
teeth constantly and we forget and they wake up and they're like, the tooth fairy forgot to come. And so the next night you give them $20.
She doubled down on that one.
And then they figure it out and then they're expecting $20. So it's a
No,
nightmare for
bro.
big families.
And then do you guys recycle clothes? Like, do you get at least, how do you do it financially? I mean,
No, we don't recycle clothes. 'Cause
Like-
they all wear the same size.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
God damn. All right. What do you do to save money? I mean, how do you afford? Like you told me
We
one
work.
time.
We keep
and then-
working.
I know, of course. But in the summertime, you told me that you were doing a lot of introductory classes.
Oh, yes. They have everything. My gym, there's all these classes for parents to go to. But when you have a big family, everybody can't do it. So we do the free trials. everywhere. Oh yeah, we came to check out your class. We're gonna try it. And then they come with their contract. And like, okay, we'll think about it. And then you go to the next one, the next chain 2 miles away. And you're like, we want to do the introductory trial, and your kids get to bounce around and learn songs.
We just can't decide if we want to commit to this one. See you later.
Yeah, and then you go to the next one.
See you next week.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love
and
it.
then eventually you sign one kid up, and then they all take turns going.
Oh. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
but when it comes to sports, now they all play sports. They have their own teams and things like that. But when they were little, I was not paying for 20 my gym classes.
No, and they're so expensive, those
Yeah.
stupid classes like
Yeah.
Gymboree. And
Yeah,
you're like,
exactly.
but, they give them a fucking thing of beans and they shake it and they go, this
Exactly.
is stimulating his cerebral cortex.
Right.
You're like, no, he's not. He's shaking a can of beans. Shut the
Exactly.
fuck up with this.
We can go to the park and go
Yeah.
on the swings.
I'll shake
right.
some-
Yeah,
yeah,
we
get outta
lived
here.
at the park when they were little.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like the park. I believe in the park.
Yeah. it's
I
great.
like, and I also, I like iron hot furniture, like hot
Oh,
iron
the old
playground.
school.
Yeah, old school.
Yeah.
Like you gotta learn to take a burn. You gotta fall in the sand.
They're like hot, not hot.
Yeah, I like it, but
Yeah.
that's how you learn. I learned more about life on a playground than I did in a classroom, right?
Right.
Like you learn how to play
Yeah.
with other kids.
Kids
and-
need to play. That's so important.
right,
Yeah.
free play and uninterrupted,
Yeah.
and also how to not play with certain kids.
Yeah.
Like there's a kid in Ellis's class. They constantly have this back and forth of they love each other, they hate each other, they love each other. I'm like, then you know how to play with them today.
Yeah. Choose
play
kind
with-
friends. That's what I say.
Yes. Oh, I like that too.
Yeah.
Choose kindly, of course. Okay, let's do your mom fails. Let's do. Oh, I love videos. Let's do the mom fail videos. Oh, you want your headphones on for these? No. Oh, my butt hurts on this. Oh, this is cute. I like this one. Do.
I fall down that shoulders.
So let's play that one again. We missed it. So there's a dad and he's got one kid on his shoulders. He's got another baby in his arms. Play that again, Nadav, from the top.
I fall down that shoulders.
He said, I farted on dad's shoulders.
That's funny.
That's a huge one in our house too. Ellis loves to fart on daddy's head, on mommy's head. It's a good time. If you have boys, you get fart on. Did your boys fart on Luca?
Oh yeah, they're always passing gas. 3 boys and a girl. My daughter is mortified.
Really?
Constantly.
She's not used to it at this point.
No.
Yeah. Well, good for her. She's going to know men very well.
Oh yes.
She's going to have a good marriage. All right. What else?
All right, so that was from Miranda, and now these next two are from Morgan.
I farted on daddy's shoulder.
Yeah, her kid is going through a phase right now where she's repeating a phrase.
Uh-oh.
Which
I love
is really
these.
cute.
Kids cursing is my fave.
Mimi, Mom, I'm pooping. Chloe, I'm pooping.
That's good. Doesn't that mean she's ready for toilet training?
Yeah, that's the run and hide.
The run and hide.
Yeah. They hide to go poop.
When they start, hold on, pause it for a second. It's when they start getting ashamed, right, and wanting to hide and poop in private.
Right.
That's their.
Well, they're
your
just
cue.
getting to know their bodily functions, so they know it's coming, which is a good sign because when they're little, they don't know it's coming. So why bother potty training?
Well, yeah, a lot of people told me to do it at 18 months. I was like, nah. So hold on. So that little girl, would you say that she's ready, or that's just the beginnings of?
Just the beginning of her knowing her body,
Okay, but I like
because she looks little still.
She's a little
cute.
girl.
I'm pooping. Chloe, I'm pooping.
Oh, it's too cute.
Amelia,
Hey,
She's doing
leave
it
me
cool.
alone.
why?
Leave me alone, I'm pooping.
Oh, it does never get old.
So that was from Morgan. Up next, we have Jillian.
Kiss my butt.
Bland. What did you just say?
Kiss my butt. Kiss my butt.
That's naughty.
Kiss my butt.
We don't say that. That's naughty. Oh,
Whoops. Sorry.
thank you. That's nice.
Kiss my butt. The problem with me being a comedian is that I enjoy it when my kids say bad
Right.
things.
It's funny.
It's really funny. Did your kid ever tell you to kiss my butt?
No.
No, you don't let that
no,
shit happen.
No, we're kind of old school.
Yeah. What would you do? Just a quick smack?
No.
I'm just kidding.
No.
How would you
I
crack
just
down?
ignore.
Ignore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you
Or
don't
say, I don't want to
reinforce.
kiss your butt. Poo-poo comes out of there. Kind of just make it, real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Stuff like that.
Oh, I don't want to kiss your butt. All right. What else you got, Native?
All right, so that was from Jillian. Up next, we have Carol. And the thing about this is that her kid has been listening to some Shooter Jennings songs.
Oh, dear.
And what she's been doing is switching out lyrics with some of her favorite words, like wiener, but she means wiener dog. So
Okay.
that's some context to know before you see it.
I said, do you love dirt? Hell no. Do you? Hell yeah. Do you love eyeballs? Hell no. Do you love green tails? Hell yeah. Do you go so girls? Hell yeah. Do you spinches? Hell yeah. Do you love wieners? Yeah. You love tampons?
Say
Yeah.
tampon.
What?
You love
Tampons?
tampon?
I don't know what it is about little
Sounds
kids.
like a poet.
I love it. I love little kids saying inappropriate things. All right. What else?
Hi,
we got?
Mommy P. It's Mommy P. My name's Patty. But my mom fail is my daughter, right here, just almost pulled a baking sheet with a big glass cookware on top of the baking sheet off of that table onto her head. It didn't happen. I saw it at the very last second, ran over and grabbed the baking sheet with the big glass thing on top of the baking sheet that almost fell on her 10-month-old head. I guess it's a win because it didn't happen, but yeah, just happened. Love you, Mommy.
Oh, how many times has that almost happened to you?
Yeah. A very close call.
Always. I feel like that's daily,
Yeah.
especially at Julian's age, 15 months.
Yeah.
It's all day a game of how can I keep him from killing himself.
Right,
It's just
pulling stuff down, yeah.
Is this a plug? Great. Is this
Right.
dog food? In the mouth. Is this
Yeah.
a quarter? In my mouth.
They
It's
want it all. You're just always rescuing.
always. It's on. You're just on death watch at this age.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very normal. I'm sorry that happened to you, Mommy P.
But she looks great.
She does look great. Look at her skin. Doesn't look
Her
tired at
brows
all.
are all done.
Okay. She's on fleek. She's a cool mom. All right. What else you got?
All right, so that was Patty, and then we have our last mom fail from Courtney.
Oh.
What, buddy?
I'm not grown up to say that.
Say what?
I'm not grown up to say dumb shit.
He says it well.
Dumb shit. I love it.
That's funny.
Do we have any mom hacks?
We actually have one voicemail.
Oh, we have to do
for,
dating
for
moms.
mom fail.
Okay, one voicemail. And then I want to retort on the single
Do the
mom
follow-up
thing.
stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, this is Willie. I'm from Alabama, and I'm a single dad, and I'm still going through a hoe phase, I guess you could say. And so my 4-year-old son walks into my living room after me having a friend over last night and just casually says, "Dad, she was ugly."
Oh my
And then he goes back in his bedroom. "Thanks. Keep my eye tight."
She was ugly.
What do you think of that? You start teaching him
was
stuff
ugly.
like, yeah, take it to the dog pound. Woof, woof. It's hilarious. Well, hey, man. There you go. I wanted to get back on these dating single moms. Did we have any voicemails about that?
No, just some emails.
Okay. So we asked you guys to chime in on what's the etiquette on dating a single mom. And we got a few responses. This one says, "Hey Hitler, I'm a single mom who dates /has FWBS." What's FWBS?
Friends with benefits.
We're
Such
so
nerds. You know, I've been
We
married
both
so
looked at each
long.
other like, what? What is that? Thought it was an STD.
So I thought it was like, yeah, I didn't know. Like a gender
We both looked at
identifier.
each other like,
Yeah.
do you know?
Fucking nerds. We're such nerds. How long have you been with your husband now?
14 years.
Yeah, I'm like around the same. I don't even know. we were together in the time of like MySpace.
Yes, us too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what these acronyms. Okay. Friends with benefits. Parents probably shouldn't even introduce their kids to anyone they're dating, much less let them discipline. My own personal rule of thumb is waiting for 6 months since you started seeing them, plus be in a serious relationship. If you're dating a mom and she's quick to introduce you to her kids, that could be a red flag. Maybe manipulation to get you more involved so that you stick around. And who else has she introduced her kids to? They don't need to know anyone their parents are dating until you agree to get serious and talk about what that entails. Hopefully the ex will have the kids some weekends. That's the best sex ever, KT. Well, that's good to know.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree too.
Yeah. Keep it separate.
Yeah. Because my dad made the mistake of introducing me to every hoe that passed through the house. Mm-hmm. And it's when you're a kid, you just want a mom. And my mom was like not good. So I was like, oh, is this my new mom? Is this my new mom? Is this my new mom? Is this my, yeah. And like he would bang everybody, like the Albertsons checkout girl, the waitress at the Lamplighter restaurant.
So confusing.
Yeah, it was just a disaster. There was a few normal ones. Most of them were crazy. Okay, here's another one from Dating Single Moms. I was listening to this week, and the 29-year-old who has been dating single moms and isn't sure about boundaries. I am a stepmom. When my husband and I met, our son was 18 months old. When we moved together, he was 3. He's now 9. It was a lot of trial and error. At the end of the day, I didn't understand where I overstepped until I had biological children and could put myself in my son's mom's shoes. Best rule of thumb is, if I was this kid's dad/mom, would I want my ex's boyfriend/girlfriend handling this? If you are seriously dating someone with a child, it is so important to have a conversation with them about boundaries. Also, if you are seriously dating someone with a child, it is so important to maybe, if it's an option, meet their ex and discuss clear boundaries and expectations. I would also explain that this is a learning curve for you and patience and direction are appreciated. In the first few years, I was constantly reminding myself, this is my son, but I am not his mom. Remember that you will and should always come second to your significant other's child. When both bio parents are good, involved parents, like they are in my situation, it makes being a step parent so fun. By the way, when I say seriously dating, I mean just that. Unless you're planning on being with this person forever, that kid shouldn't even know you're dating their parent. Hope that incoherent rambling helps. Yes, it does. Thank you. I don't have your name here. But yeah, I agree. It sounds like good. Planning on sticking around before you even introduce. Mm-hmm. And like, yeah, you don't want to meet all the dudes that your mom is railing. And
yeah, my dad hid it very well for me.
Good.
And then all of a sudden he was getting married. So you have to have a little bit of time to get to know each other. But
so it was too sudden for you, you're saying?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, you would have
They
wished.
I met her in April. They were married in August.
Oh my God. But they're still together?
Yeah, they're still together.
Well then, hey, thank God.
It's great.
It worked out.
Yeah.
Why so fast?
I don't know. I think they just wanted to get it on.
Jeez. All right. Look at your dad. Sure. So, very exciting news. Somebody emailed me. There is now a Facebook group for WMMA fans. Very exciting. She writes in, "Heyo, we have a not lame mom group on Facebook for this podcast. It's not crazy active yet, but we ask mom shit without these judgy R-word moms." Okay, so there you go. We'll put the link in the... So if you type in WMMA for Facebook groups, you guys should be able to find it, which is so cool. I would love for you guys... I should never read what people write on Facebook groups about yourself. It's not good. I learned that lesson with your mom's house. You don't want to know what people think of you. Trust me. It's not always pleasant. Anyways, thank you so much, Nakeya.
My pleasure.
I'm so thrilled you shared your story with us. Please come back again.
Anytime.
And is there anything else you want to share in parting for anybody listening, having new twins? Any advice you want to give?
Oh, for my twin moms?
Yeah.
Just don't feel bad for them. Twin life is fun.
No mercy, no pity.
I mean, it's not as bad as people say.
Yeah.
It really isn't. It's a lot of fun.
It's a
lot
lot
more
of fun.
hugs.
That's right. Yeah. Double. Because once they get past a certain age, it does get a lot easier with little ones.
It does. And they're friends. Fun. You don't have to have as many play dates.
Oh, that's huge. Yeah. Keep an antisocial. That's that was kind of the reason I had a second child. Right.
They can play together. And invite those multiple families over. Because a lot of times you feel bad. Like, can I bring all my kids? So, yeah.
Your kids are so great, though.
Yeah, they're good.
They came over when we had a party for Julian's first birthday, and they were so good. I'm like,
that's because we had a little mini chat on the way.
What was in your
Like, you want to go
rules.
back to Miss Christina's?
I like this.
Yeah, she does the fun parties.
I sure do. They were so sweet. They're like, can we have a cupcake? I'm like, yes. You may have whatever you want because you're so cute. We'll adopt all of you. All right. Thank you for being here.
Of course.
And thank you for listening, for downloading. Until next time, stay cool. Cool moms, varsity moms.
Mom's where my mom's at. Where my mom's wearing thongs, hitting bongs at. Raising kids, cleaning shits, need a long nap. Where my mom's